Hey guys, welcome to the channel or welcome back. My name is Ania and today I'm going to show you my migration into my new bullet journal. Before we get into this video, I just wanted to say thank you so much for 600 subscribers. I'm not really sure how we got here, but I'm incredibly grateful for anyone who watches my videos, and you guys are truly the good thing that came out of 2020. So I just want to say thank you again. It genuinely means the world to me. So the journal that I went with this time around is this gorgeous red A5 Archer and Olive notebook. And as you can see, there is like a rose design on the front. Here I'm showing you some of the features of the notebook, which includes the pen loop, the double bookmarks, and the back pocket. So now I'm showing you some of the materials that I used in this bullet journal setup. So including my normal sticker sheets that I usually have. I went with some floral kind of leaf designs. And also I'm showing you some of the supplies that I used this month. So that includes the Tombow double-sided roller, some micron pens, the Tombow dual brush pens, which are some of my favorite supplies to use in my bullet journal. Next, you're gonna see a Crayola Super Tip, which also one of my favorite supplies, and some Tombow Fudenosuke brush pens, which are also great. And last but not least, the Signo Uniball Ultra Micro pen, which is, I have a love-hate relationship with that pen. It's typically my favorite pen, but it was going out a lot in the summer, I think because of the heat, so love-hate relationship. So I made this intro to the new year very bright and very fun because that's exactly what I want to feel in 2021. I wanted to make sure that it gave me hope, that I wasn't bringing any of the negativity from 2020 into 2021. Of course, we have no idea what this year is going to hold, so it's hard to say whether it's going to be any better, but I think it's really good to have hope. And also, I've realized that the year is really what you make it. This year was terrible for a lot of people, but I'm determined to make next year, a good year for me in terms of like growth and, moving towards the things that I want to do regardless of any outside forces. I realize that that's kind of a big thing to say, but I think, sometimes we just have to kind of make our own fate and just decide how we're going to feel in the moment. Like, do you want to feel upset that the year was so bad, or do you want to feel grateful for everything that you have and all the small things that were good that did happen? It's all in the details. So right now I'm just setting up my, cover page pretty much, and I am also working on my key right now. So we are all human beings. We all make mistakes. And I made, a whole migration's worth of mistakes in this bullet journal. It broke my heart to tear pages out of this journal, but I knew I had to redo it because I just was not happy with the way that I decided to do it before. It was just very bland, not very me. And I kind of tried to rush how I wanted to do it. It just did not work out. So I'm honestly really happy that I tried again because I ended up liking the result a lot better at the end. And it just goes to show, like, you're gonna mess up, you're gonna fall down, you're gonna do things you do not like, and you just gotta try again. You just gotta figure out how to make it work. So I don't really know what the name of this theme is, but I enjoyed drawing them everywhere. They're just a really cute detail, a really fun, easy drawing to add, to any spread to kind of make it pop, add some color. So these first two pages, I did kind of go overboard with the decorations. It'll mellow out as we go through this migration. Alright, so these next two pages are going to be my word of the year and my goals. So something that I always like to do is set a certain amount of goals for every year. And because it was 2020, I did 10 goals for 2020. I just thought that sounded nice. So since I did 10 goals last year, I decided that this year I would do 11 goals for 2021. on this page, I decided to make like a mini vision board. I will have a more extensive one coming soon, but yeah, just basically just some of the pictures that I felt represented some of my bigger goals for the year. And I just threw that on there. I thought it'd be a nice touch to add that on top of my word of the year. And my word of the year is progress. So one thing that I felt like I really struggled with this year is feeling like I was making an impact. You know, sometimes when we have bigger goals or we're doing things like school or, you know, work, and it can feel really hard. It can feel like you're trapped. And I definitely kind of felt a lot of that this year. So I think that it's just a good reminder to remember that slow progress is still progress. You know, you're still making your way towards the finish line. And it's just like that one book, the turtle and the hare, or the tortoise and the hare. And it's like, you know, the hare was faster initially, but in the end, you know, the tortoise was the winner, or something like that. If you know which book I'm talking about, you know what I mean. You know the story behind it. But yeah, it's basically just like, you know, even if you feel like you're moving slow, you're still moving. So you just got to keep going. You got to just keep working towards that progress. And that could be for anything too. Like even if you're like on and off working out, which I'm also guilty of. You know, just because you have to stop for a week or two because of whatever the reason may be, as long as you get up and you try again and you continue working on it, it's not a failure. It's just a work in progress. So I'm really trying to teach myself that next year and really kind of practice what I preach, because it's been really hard to get that in my head. You know, you don't have to be where everybody else is at. You're where you're at, and then you'll be where you want to go if you keep working at it. So I'll stop rambling. So what I'm working on now is my future log. And I decided to skip the year at a glance just because I really have nothing against that spread. I honestly love having it in my bullet journal, but I was just like, I really don't use it. It is really nice to like look back and see it, but it's not really like practical. And I had already, you know, torn out a couple pages. I was just kind of like, okay, I want to waste the least amount of paper as possible. I want to make sure that, you know, majority of the spreads that I'm making, I'm actually going to use. So I felt like it was better to just go straight into the future log. And I actually cut this from last year. Last year, I made this a 4-page spread. This year, I decided that 2 pages was enough. I really don't have that much going on in my life. I don't need a full page, you know, to 3 months. Like, it just wasn't necessary. And typically my bullet journal only lasts me about 6 months anyway. So it just really didn't make sense for me to waste the extra paper. And honestly, I really love the way that this came out. You'll see in a second as I start adding the color that I did mess up. I initially wanted the color to be where the month was going to go, so like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, etc. And I accidentally did it too high except for 3 of the months, so I had to go through and fix that. And the way that I did that was, since I had, you know, taken some paper out of my bullet journal, still hurts me. I ended up just cutting a piece from one of those pages that weren't being used, and I just covered it up. Just matched up the dots as best I could and glued it in, and it was fine. It honestly looks pretty good. It doesn't bother me as much as I thought it was going to, so that was definitely a nice treat. I was happy to have it at the end of the day. Like, you know, even though it's like sad that I had it, it's also kind of just like it came in handy to fix that mistake. And then I ended up really liking the way this spread came out in the end anyway, so it really wasn't that big of a deal. But you know, you got to be resourceful sometimes. Like, you're gonna make mistakes in your bullet journal, so you might as well find as many creative ways as possible to fix them. And you never stop learning how to do that, so that's something that's always fun. I feel like maybe I'm the only one, or maybe I'm not, but I always love these spreads so much more when they're not filled in. It kind of loses something when they are, but I love it regardless. Okay, so these 2 pages are my milestones, and I have to say I'm actually pretty sad that I didn't do this in my 2020 bullet journal, but that's okay because that's what this next one is for. So basically, this is a place for me to track any achievements. And again, this goes into like my word of the year, like slow progress is still progress. And also just showing myself that, like, you know, you accomplished something. You accomplished many things. So that is what these pages are for. Initially, I was gonna just leave it open, but then I decided to break it up into 4 categories. And I just ended up liking the way that this came together and felt like, you know, it probably would be better than just writing things randomly. I mean, it's still kind of open-ended, but I just liked this idea to separate them. So up at the top, we have personal and YouTube. And then down at the bottom, we have school and Instagram. So I just decided that, you know, as I continue to hopefully grow on these platforms, you know, grow in my personal life, including finances and stuff like that, and continue to go through school until I graduate, just, you know, any accomplishments that I may have gotten, I'll just write them there. And then at the end of the year, I'll be able to look back and think like, wow, look at all the things that I did. Look at everything that I accomplished. So I'm hoping that will be filled in by the end of the year, but we'll just have to see. So this next page I'm working on is actually also new to my bullet journal, and this is a when did I last spread. So, you know, there's things that we have to do as adults that, you know, you can easily forget to do. So I decided that it'd be really great to have a place to like be able to track when I'm actually doing that stuff. So, you know, you can think of things like changing your toothbrush or rotating your mattress or, you know, changing out your sheets or whatever that may be. So I have a ton of stuff like that written down once I actually go through and fill out the spreads. And if you guys want to keep up and see how the spreads look filled out throughout next month, you can follow me on Instagram, and that's where I'll be posting updates. So yeah. So even though the spread is really simple, I ended up really liking the way that it looked with the craft paper and stuff. Oh, not to mention, I also bought new craft paper, and I had been using just like brown paper bag before, which is a great like alternative to craft paper, and it's cheaper. So that was really nice, but I kind of wanted a bigger surface to work with, and you can print on craft paper, which was like mind-blowing to me. So I'm like, oh my god, I'm literally gonna do that all the time. Like, it looks awesome. So you won't see it in this migration video, but if you stay tuned to my January plan with me, you'll see me using that trick in action where I print on the craft paper, and then, you know, I have those as my titles and stuff, and I am obsessed. If only I could print on black cardstock, that'd be a game changer. But yeah, having to deal with white ink is not something that I really want to do. So that's why I haven't done it. Right now I'm setting up a waiting on spread, which is also something I've never had before, but something I've desperately needed. So I feel like a lot of us can agree, 2020, we have gone insane with the Amazon purchases, and I definitely have. I'm guilty. So it's really nice to have a place to know, you know, when I'm getting things, and, you know, when I think they're gonna come, when they're actually gonna come, and just keeping track of all of that, because sometimes things just show up and I'm like, what even is this? I don't even remember. I don't remember what I got, so not great. I just went through and did the monthly titles for my year in pictures last year, or for the year of 2020. Massive fail. I did not put a single photo in there, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't know if that's a year that I really want to remember. So yeah, that was a fail, but I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna keep trying. Like, I love taking photos. I want the memories, and I think it'd be really cool to see it in my bullet journal at the end of the year. So I'm hoping 2021 is going to be the year that I actually end up doing that. So right now I'm working on a grid spacing spread, and I finally figured out how to actually do the spread correctly. It only took me I've been bullet journaling for like almost 3 years now. Or actually, I think it has been 3 years now. So yeah, it only took me that long to figure out how to do the spread, but I have done it. So it's actually accurate. Okay, now we have come to our final flip through. I'm just writing A is for Ania on the first page. So that is my Instagram account, feel free to follow. And yeah, anyway, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys enjoyed chatting with me. I love you guys so much. Thank you again for 600 subscribers, and I'll see you in the next video.